padaya Krishna pristaya bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine everyone Nama Om Vishnu padaya Krishna pristaya bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvate Chatunyavadi Paschatade Tatarini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvate Chatunyavadi Paschatade Tatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 His divine loving grace of my Charana Arvinda Swami Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. ISKCON Samastapaka Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Param Sabaravajakshariya Stotra Satsimad. His divine loving Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sekal Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vindi Ki Jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Sat Goswami Ki Jai. Shri Panchatattva Shri Nitai Gaur Sundari Ki. Their Lordship Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki. Their Lordship Shri Radha Radhanath Gopa Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakundi Giriraj Govardhani Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Shri Goloka Vrindavan Dham, Navadip Dham, Neelachal Jagannath Puri Dham. Oh, beloved spiritual masters, divine loving grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book distribution Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's transcendental food distribution Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Purana Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is Ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhade Bhagavan Ki Jai. Bhakta Padad Maharaj Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Gangama Yamunamai Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled over here. All glories to the assembled over here. All glories to the assembled over here. All glories to the Lord. World Holy Name Week Ki. World Holy Name Week Ki. World Holy Name Week Ki. Maha Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Ki. Chant and be happy Ki. Tago Prema.
Sing, bro. Sing. Recording.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Jai Jagadish Kampara ki Gaura Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhar ki
Jai.
Shri Jai Gaur Sundar ki
Jai.
Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki
Jai.
Our beloved spiritual masters, divine loving grace, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
World Holy Name Week ki
Jai.
World Holy Name Week ki
Jai.
World Holy Name Week ki
Jai.
Kago Prema
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Everyone repeat Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for gathering once again after a few weeks relaxation.
And also, Prabhu, take this opportunity to wish you a happy birthday. Your birthday was recently. We wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your kindness in coming.
One more closer,
Yes.
one more nearer, one more year nearer to death.
Of your body.
Of the body. And 1 year nearer, closer to Krishna, hopefully.
Yes.
So thank you, very much. So you're told that this is World Holy Name Week. When it started?
It's this week. Not sure, I think night.
So this week is Holy Name Week, and it is headed by His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, and very important because our movement is known as the Sankirtan movement. Because it is through this Sankirtan gathering together, Prabhupada brought everyone together to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this actually started in Thompson Square under a tree, just by Prabhupada being alone, bringing the movement, chanting of the holy name, sitting alone under a tree with a pair of kartals. He started this International Society for Krishna Consciousness just by a pair of kartals. And all the vagabonds, the hippies, they gathered around Srila Prabhupada, they were chanting and dancing. And today that's what we have, an International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And we have to be very thankful to Srila Prabhupada who started this movement like this. And very, very beneficial to us, because anyone who chants the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, very sincerely and very seriously, they can purify themselves, perfect their lives in this birth, and you can go back home, back to Godhead. Provided that you do it sincerely, very seriously, and under the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master. Because if you do not chant the holy name under the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master, then you would not make any advancement. It is very, very important. And I just read that in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 4th canto, chapter 12, just today, about that one should perform devotional service strictly under the guidance of a spiritual master, to perfect one's life, to purify one's heart and mind, and go back home, back to God, into the spiritual world. So therefore this week, Holy Name Week, if you can chant some extra rounds, gather around, have nice discussions on the Supreme Person of Godhead, especially if you can about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. That will also help like that. And you could go around having Harinam, Sankirtan, distributing the holy name. Books itself is the holy name. And when you distribute those books, like that, you're distributing the holy name, helping other living entities, you become pleased, you become blessed by the holy name, you become purified at heart, and all other living entities who receive this message of Krishna consciousness will also benefit by reading those literatures, by hearing the Maha Mantra. They can become purified and they can surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So you can help yourself by engaging like this in devotional service. Hare Krishna. So we're going to continue with our Srimad Bhagavad Gita Introduction by Srila Prabhupada. And this introduction itself is a chanting because it's pertaining to Krishna himself, spreading this pure message of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, this is also the form of chanting. There's different forms of chanting also. Even prasadam distribution, it is a form of chanting, because wherever Krishna is involved, it is a chanting of holy name. Wherever Krishna is involved, because you cook, you offer to Krishna, and you distribute prasad, and the living entities, when they imbibe that or take that within themselves, then the process of purification begins. But the holy name is even more powerful. If you give the holy name, you make advancement even faster. One can purify if one begins chanting the holy name. So with that introduction, we are going to just chant Bhagavad Gita, the holy name. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Sri Guru Sri Utapadakkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagaradatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Chavidutam Paridhana Chaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Cham. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatra Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Louder.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasad Bhutala Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Nama. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachara Pratarina Nirviche Chunyavadi Paschata Jashatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So we're going to just recap a little bit where we stopped. And we were in the previous session, we were discussing about material nature itself. And material nature has three qualities. Anybody know what the three qualities are? I'll make it easier for you. Three modes. Huh?
Ignorance, passion, and goodness. Tamas, rajas.
Yes, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. That is what the material nature it is constituted of, these three qualities. And when the living entity comes into contact with the material nature, his activities are performed on the basis of these three modes of material nature. It depends on your previous karma or action, activity. Whatever activity, if you perform activities in the mode of goodness, in this birth, you will take birth in the mode of goodness. If you act in the mode of passion, want to enjoy your senses, then you will take birth in the mode of passion. And then if you were acting in the mode of ignorance in the previous birth, then in this birth you'll take birth in the mode of ignorance and remain in total darkness. That's how this material nature works, right? And then we discussed about the Lord, the living entities, material nature, and time. These are all eternal. That is the Lord, the living entities, material nature, and time are eternal. But there is one thing that is not eternal, as stated here by Srila Prabhupada in Introduction. What is that? Huh?
Karma.
Karma. Give him a big hand, please. Yeah. It is karma that is not eternal because you can change your karma. But if you continue taking birth in the material world with this material body, you would not change. That is why it is also constituted as being eternal, like the others. And then we discussed about the position of Ishvara. What is the position of Ishvara? He is controlled by all the living entities?
He controls.
Yes. I'm just trying to trick you. He is the controller of all the living entities, and we are controlled. You know? But of course, to some extent, we are minute controllers. But due to our false ego, we think sometimes we are the supreme controller and we want to become the supreme personality of Godhead. Like today, you get so many gods on this earth planet claiming to be supreme, powerful. And that is foolishness. The jivas, who are the jivas? Yes, but in relationship to the supreme personality of Godhead.
Marginal potency.
Huh?
Lord's marginal potency.
Marginal potency, and we are all also part and parcel,
Part and parcel of the Supreme.
an eternal servant.
Eternal.
That is our constitutional position of the living entity, right? And both the living entity, what is the, carefully listen to this, what is the quality? What is the quality of both the living entity and the Supreme Lord? Not quantitatively, qualitatively. Both the living entity and the Lord are eternal by nature. That is the quality. but in quantity, the living entity is minute. But the Lord is the complete whole. We are just a tiny particle, part and parcel. We just explain just a small part and parcel. And even the living entity, or both the living entity and material nature, they are known as Prakriti. Prakriti means the energy of the Supreme Lord. But one of the two Prakritis, that is the Prakriti Jiva and the Prakriti that is the material nature, this material world, they are, one is superior and one is inferior. Why? Because one is eternal by nature. It's conscious. That is the living entity. But material nature is not conscious. Is that clearly understood?
Yes. Material.
Yes. That is the difference between material nature and the living entity. The material nature is conscious and, you are very attentive, right? Material nature is unconscious.
Some of us are unconscious.
It's dead, right? And the living entity is conscious. I'm glad you are awake. And then we also discussed about the Lord is living in everyone's heart. We discussed that also. It is also explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Person of Godhead, you are not the Supreme Lord, by the way. The Supreme Person of Godhead is living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, as a controller, and that he is giving directions for the living entity to act as he desires. So the Lord is there seated in your heart, and he gives direction for the living entities to act as he desires. Not the Lord as the Lord desires, as the living entity desires. So therefore we don't blame the Lord for our suffering. Because very quickly people blame God. I am praying so much. Why God not helping me? God never asked you to come here. He told you to be with me in the spiritual world. Don't leave me. But we left him. Why? Due to big false ego. We wanted to enjoy separately from the Supreme Lord. So the Lord made that arrangement for us, and that is why we are struggling yet. So it is not the Lord's fault. The Lord gives you He gives you the direction according to what you want to. How kind the Lord is. So therefore, if you want to surrender to the Lord, then you can do so. But if you don't want to surrender, you're not forced. Yes, unlike some religious principles, that if you do not worship in a certain way, then you can be slaughtered. Or if you do not worship in a certain way, then you can go to hell. Huh? You are condemned to hell, for a better word, yes. So, Krishna consciousness is very nice. The Lord gives you a choice. Do as you please. But do not blame him. You can never blame Krishna, right? And we have come to that point, and we can start with the next section, paragraph, reading. The Supreme Consciousness, Ishvara, is similar to the living entities in this way. Both the consciousness of the Lord and that of the living entity are transcendental. So therefore the living entity and the Lord are the same in quality. not in quantity, just don't forget, in quality. Unfortunately, Mayavadis, they think they are also equal to the Lord in quantity. They think they are the Lord themselves, or even better than the Lord, because sometimes they say that the Brahman of this world, everything comes from the Brahman. And even Lord Krishna manifested from the Brahman. And then he becomes in contact with material nature and he becomes contaminated. That is foolish mentality. After all, because everything, even the Brahma Jyoti effulgence or the Brahman effulgence, comes from the Supreme Lord. It shines from the body of the Supreme Lord. Even the Paramatma form of the Lord that is seated in the heart of the living entity in the four-handed form, that is also the manifestation of the Lord, Lord Krishna. And the Supreme Lord is known as Parabrahman, the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, we think foolishly that Lord Krishna is ordinary like us. And that is the mistake we make. That we think the Lord is born of this Brahman effulgence. He manifests himself and he comes into contact and gets contaminated. The Lord can never get contaminated because he is pure by nature. Everything else comes from him. Right? It is not that consciousness is generated by the association of matter. Very, very important message here. It is not that consciousness is generated by the association of matter, because consciousness is living and matter is also living. Yes, matter is dead. How can something dead can create life? That is why Prabhupada wrote the book, Life Comes from Life. Life doesn't come from matter. Matter comes from life. Matter is created from life. That is a mistaken idea. Yeah, Prabhupada writing. The theory that consciousness develops under certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in Bhagavad Gita. Not that its material nature or matter came together at a certain time and then life came. It is just the other way around. First, the consciousness was manifested from the Supreme Consciousness and it entered the matter and set matter in motion. That is the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The theory that consciousness develops under certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in Bhagavad Gita. Consciousness may be pervertedly reflected by the covering of material circumstances, just as light reflected through colored glass may appear to be a certain color, but the consciousness of the Lord is not materially affected. The Lord Krishna says, Maya Dakshana Prakriti. We can see that conscious sometimes due to our contact with material nature, we see this material nature as reality, as the original. But it is not the original. It is a perverted reflection of what's real. And Prabhupada gave a good example, is that if there's a tree that is standing along the bank of a river, and if you look at the reflection of the tree in the water, what would you see? Huh?
You see the reverse.
Yes, you see the reverse, upside down tree,
down,
right? Like the roots upwards and the branches are down. You can actually see that in the water. So we are like that in this material world. This material world is like that. It is a perverted or upside down reflection of what is the reality in the spiritual world. Just like Lord Krishna is a personality, we are also personalities because we are a reflection of Lord Krishna, but we are only temporary. This body is temporary, but the soul is eternal, a tiny particle of the Supreme Person of God. But we are thinking we are original, and that is our foolishness. We are not original, the original personality. Krishna is the original person and everything's come from him. When the Lord descends, when he descends into the material universe, his consciousness is not materially affected. And the living entity, when he comes into this material world, he is also not affected. Is it true? Huh?
We are affected.
The living entity is affected.
He's infected.
Huh?
He's infected.
Yes. Huh? He becomes in a diseased condition. Only when the Lord enters, he is not affected.
He is not affected.
Because he is pure by nature, and this material nature manifests from the Supreme Person of God in himself. That's his nature. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. This divine nature of mine is very difficult to overcome. His nature is divine. And when the Lord manifests his material nature, he can make it temporary. He has the power to do so. You understand? Because the Lord is very, very powerful. His consciousness is not materially affected. If he were so affected, he would be unfit to speak on transcendental matters. How the Lord can speak on transcendental matters if he is affected with material nature? As he does in Bhagavad Gita, because the Lord speaks Bhagavad Gita. One cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being free from materially contaminated consciousness. You cannot preach about the spiritual world if you are contaminated by nature. But you might ask the question, how do we do it? We are also contaminated. We are doing it through the pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada. Everything becomes purified by Srila Prabhupada. You know? Therefore you have to become a devotee. And only a devotee can preach about Krishna. If you are not a devotee, you are not allowed to preach about Krishna. Because Krishna is not on the material platform, he is transcendental. Therefore anything that you say, and if you are not a devotee, then it becomes contaminated. And the person who is hearing also becomes contaminated. And I'll give an example, what Prabhupada gave an example of what can become
Snake touching the milk.
Sorry, yeah.
Snake touching the milk and the milk becomes poisonous.
Give him a big hand, please. Yeah. Just like you get some milk in a cup, and if the snake touches that milk, it becomes poisonous. And if you drink that poisonous milk, what happens to you? You still stay alive. Eventually you will die because of being poisoned. So similarly, if one who is contaminated in the material world, if he speaks Bhagavad Gita, through that contamination will affect the next person, and he will not get the right message. He will still be suffering in the material world, struggling. Therefore so many people, they try to give Bhagavad Gita, through the factory of their own brain, manufacturing their own messages. They cannot make any advancement. And there's a good example. But that question is asked right in the beginning here. Why did Srila Prabhupada translate Bhagavad Gita as it is? We went through that right in the beginning, right? Why did Srila Prabhupada translate Bhagavad Gita as it is when there are so many copies? There were over 700 copies at that time when Srila Prabhupada translated Bhagavad Gita as it is? Why should Prabhupada translate another copy?
Why is Srila Prabhupada translated the Bhagavad Gita? Because people were too tired of reading the Bhagavad Gita.
Not too tired of reading the Bhagavad Gita, because they were not giving them the message, the proper message as the spirit of the Gita. What is the spirit of the Gita? The spirit of the Bhagavad Gita is that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. They were not giving that message. They were giving the message that I am God, you are God, and everybody else is God.
That's what they were.
And that is why Srila Prabhupada had to translate in English language Bhagavad Gita as it is, to present Krishna as he is, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Does it make sense? That's why Prabhupada present like that. And so many Bhagavad Gitas were written previously before Srila Prabhupada translated in English. Nobody became devotees. Not a single devotee, guaranteed, of Krishna. But when Prabhupada came with Bhagavad Gita to the West, what happened? Today we have the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And I can vouch for that. I was one of them who read Bhagavad Gita, saw the picture of Srila Prabhupada on the back of the cover. The picture of Srila Prabhupada, I'm talking about more than 37 years ago. And I surrendered to Srila Prabhupada through that picture, seeing Prabhupada's picture on the back of the cover. Before that, I even read other Bhagavad Gita, like Divine Life Society. I'm being honest, Ramakrishna. Nothing changed my consciousness. But the moment I just saw the picture of Srila Prabhupada on the back of the cover, like this, it was the blue book edition, first edition. I saw the back of the cover, Srila Prabhupada's picture. I surrendered, read the first page and gave up meat eating. That's how powerful Bhagavad Gita is. That's a potency. Even Prabhupada mentioned that if you go out distributing books, the wisest thing is while you're talking to the person, take the book and leave it. Just tell him, no, just touch this book. See what it is like. Even touching the book of Prabhupada's transcendental translations, it's so powerful. It's magic. You become in contact with a pure devotee, and your consciousness begins to transform. That is the importance of this. I was just trying to delve in that matter a little bit, just to tell you how great Srila Prabhupada is, was, and will always be. That's how powerful he is. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that we have to purify this materially contaminated consciousness. That's the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Right? In pure consciousness, our actions will be dovetailed to the will of the Ishvara, and that will make us happy. That means our consciousness will be dovetailed, directed towards the Supreme Lord Ishvara. It is not that we have to cease all activities. You don't have to stop your activity. Like Arjuna was giving instruction. You continue your fighting and do it for me, Krishna said. Don't give up your duty. Rather, our activities are to be purified, and purified activities are called bhakti. So all your activities can be purified through Krishna consciousness. Anything that you do, your work, your family, whatever you do. Money, everything can be purified and used in service, by using it in loving devotional service to Krishna. Everything can become decontaminated. Activities in bhakti appear to be like ordinary activities. You might think that, but they are not contaminated. Many people look at us, what we do, They think, like we are all like ordinary also, But they cannot understand bhakti is not on the ordinary platform. An ignorant person may see that a devotee is acting or working like an ordinary man. But such a person with a poor fund of knowledge does not know that the activities of the devotee or of the Lord are not contaminated by impure consciousness of matter. Because devotees act on Krishna consciousness. Therefore, it is pure. When we are material contaminated, we are called conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am a product of material nature. So we think we are material by nature. I am this body. That's false consciousness. That's why it's called false ego. Ego is there, real ego. But false ego means I am this body. And everything pertains to this body, or everything that you create through this body belongs to you. That is false consciousness, false ego. That is why we become attached to this material world, to everything. My wife, my house, my car, my this, my I, This is called false ego. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conceptions cannot understand this situation. See, if you're on the bodily platform, you think you are this body, will not understand this. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from the bodily conception of life. That is what Bhagavad Gita was spoken for, to liberate us from the bodily conception of life. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna put himself in this position in order to receive this information from the Lord. Arjuna put himself in that bodily condition. The Lord bewildered him. He is a pure devotee of Krishna. But the Lord bewildered him to become on the bodily platform. And when he became on the bodily platform, then the Lord began to speak Bhagavad Gita to teach us how to come out from the bodily platform. The Lord used him because he is a devotee. He cannot use a non-devotee. So the Lord used a devotee. He bewildered him. One who wants to become free, who wants to become liberated, must first of all learn that he is not this material body. Don't have to explain. Mukti or liberation means freedom from material consciousness. That is freedom. Mukti means freedom from material life. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also the definition of liberation is given. Muktir hitvanyatha rupam swarupe rupena vyavastiti. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world. That is what mukti means, liberation from the contamination of this material world. And situation in pure consciousness. That is liberation. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intended to awaken this pure consciousness. And therefore we find at the last stage of the Gita's instruction that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now in purified consciousness. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. And you will see in the last instance, Lord Krishna asked Arjuna, are you now satisfied? And you want to give up everything? He said, yes, my Lord. I am now surrendered to you. And I will do everything that you say, not what I want to do. That is what we are going to come to later. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intended to awaken the pure consciousness. The consciousness within us are pure, but because it has become covered by material nature, it is impure. Actually, the soul is pure by nature. Yes, because it is covered by material nature, we become ignorant of the absolute truth. Purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instruction of the Lord. That is what purified is consciousness. When you must act through the instruction of the Lord, given through the spiritual master. This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. But for us, there is the affinity of being affected by the inferior modes. But the Lord, being the Supreme, is never affected. That is the difference between the Supreme Lord and the small individual souls. You know the difference now? The small individual souls coming into contact with material nature can be affected. But when the Lord comes into this material world, the Lord is never affected. That is the difference. What's your time?
4:28.
What is this consciousness? Consciousness now is being discussed. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. I am the Lord of all I save. I am the enjoyer. That I am that consciousness that is trapped within this body thinks that I am this body. That is this consciousness of I am. When you say I am, means
Me.
you're talking about me, the body. Because you're caught up in this material nature, you're thinking I am, right? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I save. So everything that you do or that you create or manufacture, you think that is yours. Actually, it is not yours. And you think you are the enjoyer. Are you really the enjoyer? You can see it. How much of suffering, huh? The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is a Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two physic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am the enjoyer. That is the foolishness. That's material consciousness. I am the creator and I am the enjoyer. That is foolish consciousness. And the living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. That is what the living entity's natural position is. He is not a creator, he is not the enjoyer, but he is the cooperator. Means you must cooperate. And Prabhupada gave one example. And what is the example he gave? What example he gave?
King, minister.
Cooperation, in terms of cooperation. Take a guess.
The hand of the
Correct. Give him a big hand. His cooperation, he talks about the limbs of the body. The hand, the legs, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, everything
you're hungry.
must cooperate. Right?
Feed the hand.
Yes.
You feed the mouth.
Must cooperate with the stomach,
Yeah.
which is the central point. That means they must feed the stomach, smell the food, whatever you're eating, the tongue.
Swallow.
So all must work in cooperation to feed the stomach. And when the food enters the stomach, it gets nourished, and the limbs become nourished. But if the limbs don't cooperate like that by feeding and the stomach, what will happen to all your limbs? If you don't, the hand says, I am powerful, I am the enjoyer. I will just keep the food in my hand and enjoy. Keep it like that for months and years and don't take it in. What happens to you?
Die.
Eventually you perish, undernourished, and die of undernourishment.
It's like a root of a tree, Prabhu.
Huh?
Like the root of a tree. Root of a tree. I'm saying the root of a tree. Root. You water the root.
Oh, watering the root of the tree.
Yes, you don't water the leaf.
Watering the leaf.
Yeah, that's also. but that's a little different.
Different.
But this one, yeah, about cooperation, you know, cooperation. That the bodily parts must cooperate with the stomach to feed. Just like that, we have to cooperate. We are living entities, part and parcel of the Lord. Just like these limbs are parts of this body, right? Including the stomach. But the central point is the stomach. So therefore, the different parts of the body must help to feed the stomach to sustain this body, right? So similarly, we being parts and parcels of Krishna, we have to serve Krishna, not act independently or separately from Krishna. The moment you act independently or separately from Krishna, that is when we begin to suffer, because we want to enjoy independently of Krishna. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got that?
But Donald Trump is serving King Charles.
Huh?
Donald Trump is serving King Charles. He's cooperating that way. He thinks that will make him happy.
Yes, but the royal servant have to serve the king.
Yeah.
He must not think he can enjoy separately from the king.
Yeah,
Yes.
but still they're fighting all over the world.
Yeah, they do that. They think they are.
They're not serving
The,
Krishna.
the servant thinks he is sitting on the royal chair.
Yeah.
But that is not true. He's supposed to be serving the
Serving.
royalty
Yeah.
so that he can, whatever the royalty enjoys, he can enjoy with the royalty, because he is the direct servant of the royalty of the king. So similarly, we are all parts and parcel of the supreme king, that is Krishna,
Krishna.
and we are meant to serve him.
Serve him.
He is sitting on that throne. So when we serve Krishna with the love and devotion, not lust and commotion,
That's what
my favorite, then only you can become very happy and very peaceful. You cannot work independent of Krishna. So that is the message that is being given right here. And then I'm just going to read the rest. Alright, you can just hear. I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two physical divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am the enjoyer. But actually the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. He is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. See, there's two different analogies. One is the part of the machine cooperates with the machine. But if that part doesn't cooperate with the machine and wants to be separate, for example, the screw that's on the machine, it's on the floor. What is the use of the machine? What is the use of the screw? Nothing. So like that, we are parts and parcels of Krishna. We must act for Krishna and not independently of Krishna. And I gave the bodily example. Just like the body, we have to cooperate all the limbs of the body to serve the stomach, and then it will get nourished, and the body parts will be also nourished. So like that, we have to serve the Lord and become nourished in our spiritual life. The hands, the legs, the eyes, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, and the teeth chew. And all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach, because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. I'm not going to explain it again. Already explained. One nourishes the tree Here's an example here. One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we as subordinate living beings are meant to cooperate to satisfy Him. Is that clear? We need cooperation, we must cooperate. But because we are not cooperating, that is why we are suffering. We will try to enjoy ourselves. Alright? This cooperation will actually help us, just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. Explain that. The central figure of creation and enjoyment is the Supreme Lord. He is the central figure of creation and enjoyment. He is the enjoyer and the creator. And the living entities are cooperators. We have to cooperate. Is that very clear? By cooperation they enjoy. So if you cooperate with the Lord, you enjoy. Now do you know where our mistake lies? That we are suffering. Where does our mistake? Huh? We are not cooperating with the Lord.
That's why we got lasted promotions.
Okay? By cooperation, they enjoy. So you have to cooperate to enjoy. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, he gave the example of royalty. Right? If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. If you do not satisfy the master, then the servant cannot be satisfied. You will have all kinds of problems. You know? Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied. Although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created the manifested cosmic world. So the tendency is there. Because we are parts and parcel of the Lord, so we have the tendency also to create and to enjoy. But we are not the supreme creator. We are just minute, and that is only on the temporary plane. Understand? We shall find therefore in Bhagavad Gita that the complete whole is comprised of the supreme controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, eternal time, karma, or activities, and all these are explained in this text. So what is going to be explained in this text? In Bhagavad Gita, is the complete whole is comprised of the supreme controller. The complete whole means Krishna. The supreme controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, eternal time, karma or activities. All these will be explained in this text. All of these taken completely form the complete whole. All these things that I just spoke about. And the complete whole is called the supreme absolute truth. All these things here comprises of the complete absolute truth, because everything is in the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, and everything manifests from Him. Therefore, He is the complete whole. We are not the complete whole, and that is the mistaken identity we have. We are thinking we are the complete whole, and we are struggling in the material world, thinking we are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a lot of them, because of some yogic power, they think they are very powerful gods, and they are the Supreme Personality, and they decry the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, as an ordinary person, and that is why they struggle because of that in the material world. The complete whole and the complete absolute truth are complete personality of God is Sri Krishna. All manifestations are due to his different energies. Already said that, right? He is the complete whole. So everything that manifests, even the Lord Vishnu, who manifests from Krishna to create this material nature, is also part of Krishna. So Krishna is a complete whole, the absolute truth of everything. So I'm going to stop right there. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Any questions, any discussions, any criticisms?
When a person goes to court and he talks lies, when he gets away from a case, he walks away without being sentenced. Right? And some people would say, how that happened? And I tell them, yeah, well, that's the truth. You know he spoke lies. But he didn't get convicted or nothing happened to him. So they don't understand what's the absolute truth. Absolute truth has got no boundary. The Lord is supreme. He's
But
even more
if you
supreme.
think you tell lies and you get away in court, you think that is absolute truth?
Yeah, but then the magistrate.
No, it's not.
No.
Don't mistake that.
Yeah, but
You think you got away.
yeah, I know. Yeah, right.
You
But
never get
no,
away.
No, he didn't get
What
away.
is the law of karma? We just spoke.
Yeah, you pay for it. That's it.
If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, the Supreme
There's
Lord
another
is
law,
bearing
yeah.
witness to everything.
Sorry?
I think Supreme Lord Krishna is bearing witness to everything.
Yeah, yeah.
We,
Give him a big hand, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Who is seated in your heart?
Yes.
yeah.
The Lord is seated in the heart of every living entity.
Yes.
You might get away from the long arms of the law,
Yes.
but you can't get away from the laws of nature.
Right.
He's watching
Because the
everything.
Lord is in control of that nature
Yes.
which man is acting in, and if he acts wrongly, he
Yes.
will pay for his action.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
But if he acts correctly, then he also will reap the benefits of those actions.
Yes.
So you can't tell lies. You think you can tell lies in court?
Yes, and then he thinks he get away.
Yes.
But he doesn't know that's an absolute truth, making him talk the lies so he pay the karma later.
That you can say is correct.
So, but they don't know that. They don't
That
know
may be correct
Yeah.
because the absolute directs you that way
Yes.
to tell the lies
Yes.
due to your sinful activity,
Yes.
so that you can suffer later more.
That's another plan of Krishna.
Yes.
Yes. And
Not that he can lie
No,
and
no.
get away.
That's what they believe. They don't know
You know,
that is the absolute
Because if you
truth.
don't present that in a proper manner,
Yes.
then people might misconstrue that.
Yes, yes,
Therefore, I'm trying to explain what you said,
yes, yes.
so that
But that's what's happening in our
people,
commission.
sorry.
In our commission, in the political commission in this country.
Yeah.
They speak lies, they get away, the commission is closed, the report is closed, the president is sitting with it, but they don't know Krishna got a bigger plan later on.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to come from
Definitely that bigger plan will come
Yes.
by the Lord,
That's absolute
and you
truth.
will see it,
Yes.
because as this age of Kali proceeds, because the Lord has his plan,
Yes.
and if you tell your plan to the Lord will laugh at it,
Yes.
because you don't know what the Lord's plan is. And as it is stated, what will happen to all the living entities in the end of the age of Kali? What destruction will come to them? So you must not think that you can get away.
No, yeah. They feel they're getting away.
Yes.
Because this all you're watching
Because
on
they
TV.
are on the false platform.
Yeah. That's-
Therefore they think they can get away
Yes.
from whatever sinful activity they commit.
Right.
They cannot get away from committing any sin. That's why Krishna says that Sarva dharmam parityajam mam mekam saranam braja am tvam sarva papabhya moksha sami masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and simply surrender unto me.
Yes.
I shall remove all sinful activities from you. If you surrender to Krishna, Krishna will remove the sinful activity from you. Even if you told lies in court,
In court, yeah.
but if you surrender to Krishna,
Yes.
if you haven't surrendered yet,
And he wants,
then you will
punish. Come on.
you will be removed from the sinful activity. Not that you won't get some punishment, you'll get some. Even a devotee too, even if you're a devotee who tells a lie, even if you go to court, if you lie,
Yes.
if you committed some sinful activity,
Yes.
if you might get away, but you cannot get away from Krishna will give you his punishment from his side, so that he can purify a devotee. But for a person who is not a devotee, he will suffer more sinful activities and suffer more. That's the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Krishna rectifies the devotee by giving him punishment personally, but a person who is not a devotee, material nature will take control of him and give him punishment accordingly for his sinful act.
Our youth in this country is going
that
through the
clear?
same. Yeah, yes.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Because if you don't explain these things properly, you know, like what you said in the beginning,
Yeah.
if somebody here, it might just misdirect somebody.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make it clear.
Yeah.
I was just trying to understand what he was trying to say.
Yeah, but that's what people are thinking. They can lie in court,
That is why you have to explain it properly.
Yeah.
Explanation must be clear. If you do not explain those things clearly, people will get the wrong message like this.
Actually,
Well,